Hey guys, and welcome back to another review video, and today we're going to be looking at the Cigman CNVPRO digital night vision binoculars, and this is the upgraded version of the CNV01 that I reviewed previously on the channel. And Cigman have really taken things up a notch with this new model, and it comes with a brand new Sony Starvis 2 sensor. It's got AI image processing, military grade lens system, and really this model feels like a proper leap forward in terms of digital night vision tech. And it's even won a recent Red Dot award, a few others as well here. So let's dive in and see what this thing can do. So Cigman include a few different accessories in the box, and this is the box itself, which you can use to store the night vision device, but I wouldn't call it a case or anything. It's almost like a packaging slash something they decided to put it in while they were shipping it. And you do get this strap as well, and I've taken it off for this video just to make it a little bit more clean. But basically it attaches to the side here, and you can put that around your neck, walk around. You also have this USB-C charging cable here. Cigman also include this carabiner and compass. You do get a 64GB memory card, which I've already installed, and also a cleaning cloth for the lens. You also get this instruction manual, which is pretty easy to understand. I believe it's only about 10 or so pages. You can see here the specifications of the CNVPRO if you want to pause the video and have a look. Here's a quick side-by-side comparison with the Cigman CNV01, and you can see they're both around the same size. But the great thing about the CNVPRO now is that you have an upgraded screen. So if you actually look in there, you can hold these up to your eyes because the screen sits all the way down the back, whereas with the CNV01, the screen, if I turn it on, is actually right here. So holding it up right to your eyes, it's just not possible. So you actually have to hold it out in front of you. So that's something I really like. Another thing I like about the CNVPRO compared to the CNV01 is that the buttons are less confusing. So you've got all the lighting buttons here on the front. This button here just illuminates the switches as well. And so you've got fewer things to worry about. So I want to talk about some of the features I really liked about the Cigman CNVPRO, and the upgraded sensor is probably one of the biggest improvements over the previous model. So it is using a Sony Starvis 2 sensor, like I mentioned before, plus an AI processor. And yeah, the sensor itself, I did a bit of research. It's a 1 1/8 inch sensor, so it's pretty large and really optimized for low light clarity. And this lens as well here has been upgraded, so it's still a 25mm focal length, but it has an f/0.8 aperture, so that's going to let in a lot more light. And they are also using a 7-layer coated optical array, and Cigman say that it's military grade. And yeah, comparing it side by side with the CNVPRO, just using it in low light conditions, it's really got superior sharpness and low light visibility. You've got this integrated 3-watt infrared spotlight. So this thing allows you to see up to 800 meters ahead of you, 850 nanometer. This UV cut lens here in the front allows you to use these as just normal binoculars during the day, restricts the light and improves the clarity, but you just take it off at nighttime. And when I first got the device, I thought it wasn't working properly. It just wasn't, picking up on some of those low light areas, and I realized I hadn't actually taken this lens, not lens cap, but the UV cut lens off. So yeah, you can use this thing during the day with it. You can use it during, I guess, twilight hours and nighttime as well without the IR illuminator, depending on how much starlight you have and ambient light around the area. But if it's completely dark, then you'll need to activate this IR LED in there. So it's interesting because the screen, as you can see, seems to, I guess, appear to sit all the way back, but there's probably some type of lens that they're using on the front there to just give it that appearance. And yeah, it's a Samsung 3-inch TFT LCD displays, 8 different brightness levels, and does feature digital zoom as well, 8 times digital zoom. The CNV Pro supports up to 52 megapixel photo resolution, also 4K video recording, does have an onboard microphone to record audio, and I do like how there's a couple of speakers here as well, so you can play back those videos. In terms of battery capacity, you get a 5100 milliamp inbuilt rechargeable battery. I wonder if it's a 21700 cell in there, so I mean that would mean you could technically replace it, and that provides up to about 18 hours of runtime without the IR activated. And it also does support up to a 512 gigabyte SD card, though you do get a 64 gigabyte included. I think for most people that's going to be enough. Another cool feature with the Cigman CNVPRO is that you can actually stream the data from this to a phone, so you can enable like a Wi-Fi setting in there, which I'll show you a bit later, connect it to a phone. So if you have a second viewer, someone else that might want to see what you're looking at the same time, you can stream that within 30 meters. I like that the CNV Pro has an IP54 rating, so it is going to be fine in the rain and operates from negative 20 degrees Celsius to 65 degrees Celsius. There's a couple of other little features here on the side as well. So you've got a thermometer there at the bottom, plus you've got the ability to attach this thing to a tripod if you need. It's also great that you can fine tune the focus, the optical focus here on the side to really dial in on objects. Okay, so I just want to show you a little demo of the UI. So as you can see, this is not really in focus, but you can screw this lens in and out, rotate the lens on the front. That's about as good as you can get because we're quite close up, but as you can see, you can adjust the focus pretty easily. And at the moment, I am in recording mode, so on the top left-hand corner of the screen, you can see you can change it into photo mode like that, 52 megapixel photo mode, and this is just, I guess, a storage, so you can view previous photos and videos that you've taken, and yeah, sort of flip in between all those different features. So you just press that button there on the top. And there are a few other interesting features. So this one here, you just press to illuminate and turn on and off these lights on the buttons. So at nighttime, you probably want to turn them off, or actually during the day, you'd want to turn them off. And these buttons here on the front, you've got this strobe and just a normal flashlight. This button here activates the IR LED. So once you press it, it switches it on. And there are 4 levels. You can see on the left-hand side of the screen, that little light bulb that's just changing. So kind of 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically that just signifies different power levels of the LED. So you'd want to select 4 if you want the highest brightness, and then it just goes back to the normal setting. These 2 buttons here operate the digital zoom, so you just press the +1 to zoom in and the -1 to zoom out. This button here is the menu switch, so you can go into the menu and there's a few different kind of options that you can select in here. So that's that Wi-Fi option that I was telling you about before, so you can actually connect to the device on your phone and view what's on the screen, what you're looking at. And it's brightness settings with the screen, got the date stamp. I've turned that off, so when you're recording and, you know, taking photos, it doesn't put a date stamp. And you can set the date. Picture in picture, I don't use that. Loop recording, this means that if you run out of space on the device, it just records over the earlier footage. I've got the audio recording on, and you can do things like, you know, adjust the resolution of your images as well as your resolution of your images and videos. Oops, let's get back. And auto power 5 minutes, frequency 60 hertz. You can change that to 50 hertz as well. And this device also makes little beeps when you press buttons. So I've just turned it off, but you can select like a low, medium, and high setting there so that it's not too loud. Or if you need it to be louder, format the memory card. And that's pretty much it. So some considerations if you're thinking of getting the Cigman CNVPRO. So this thing weighs 740 plus grams. So it's not the lightest unit for handheld use. The second consideration is that there's no head mount option. So this is really a handheld only device. Finally, the 8 times digital zoom, while it's useful, can get grainy at the higher end. And, on the plus side though, the system does capture digital zoom on the video and in stills. I found that wasn't the case with the CNV01. And yeah, I mean, it would be really amazing if there was a way for Cigman to incorporate in some optical zooming mechanism. But yeah, haven't seen that before on these kind of digital night vision units. Finally, with these digital night vision units, they're not going to be anywhere near as good as proper analog units that cost, $5,000 to $10,000 at least. So yeah, when there's really no ambient light available or the moon isn't out, you're probably going to need to switch on that IR illuminator to see what's in front of you. Overall, the Cigman CNVPRO is a serious upgrade over the CNV01, and I really like the upgraded Starvis 2 sensor, AI processor, plus this f0.8 aperture lens. I think that just makes a huge difference in letting in additional light. And I was amazed that you can get some really professional level imaging from this device. It's not just a run-of-the-mill entry-level night vision device. And yes, I think it's suitable if you're maybe a camper, hunter, wildlife watcher, and yeah, maybe just a person who just needs reliable, clear night vision. So if you're looking for an affordable but powerful night vision system, I think the CNVPRO is easily one of the best value options out there right now. But let me know what you think in the comments. If you have questions as well, I'll get back to you. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor and click the like button. It helps me to get the channel out to more people, and share it with a friend who might be interested. And if you want to see more tech reviews, night vision reviews, make sure you subscribe.
Okay, so I'm on top of this building now, and it's daytime obviously, and just looking at everything down below, this is just the normal optical magnification mode, and get a fair bit of detail. So it's slightly zoomed in. If I'm looking at it just normally with the naked eye, it's actually like slightly more zoomed in. I think Cigman say it's like a 2 times optical zoom, 25mm lens. So yeah, definitely, I mean, just looking at the city. Now what we can do is that at the moment I have the UV cut filter installed, and if I take off the UV cut filter, you can see this is the difference. Okay, and to be honest, I don't see a huge difference. Let's put on the filter again. It does look a bit, maybe a little bit sharper with the cut filter on, and this is with the filter off. But with this image processing algorithm, it seems to compensate quite nicely. But that's the filter on and the filter off. On the CNV01, without the UV cut filter on, things just look a little bit blurry. But yeah, I've got the filter off at the moment. Put it on again. So yeah, it does sharpen things up slightly. Okay, so during the daytime, you probably want to use the filter if you can. Just because, I guess, for the main reason of just letting in slightly less light. Now, there was some construction people. Where are they? They're down there, I think. Trying to find them. And what we can do is we can zoom in to this little site here, Conway. Wow, you can even see the number. You can even see the number of this business. Oh, I know where that is. It's a fish and chip shop. Okay, and these are these guys here working on this building. Incredible. Now I'll take off the UV cut filter and just show you the difference. So it almost sort of like kind of softens the image, but it seems to almost, I don't know, it seems to almost allow some extra detail to show through instead, whereas with the cut filter on, everything looks sharper, but it's without. It's with the filter, without the filter. Okay, at the moment it's on 4.9 times. I'll just leave it without the filter and zoom in. Now you can see it's quite shaky when you zoom in as well, so let's continue in. This is 6, 7 times, 8 times zoom, and kind of struggling here to hold the camera properly. And you can see that image processing being applied over the top, bringing out the edges of all of this building scaffolding and materials and things like that. Which is really gonna come in handy. Let's zoom back out here. So even just as some binoculars, I mean, these things are incredible. Pop the UV cut filter back on, and I just want to read what that says there in the distance near the Ferris wheel. That's Docklands. Here, oh, here we go. We've got a few shipping containers, so you can see what they say. Kinda. And I'll just turn over this way. Let's see. Let's have a look at the road up here in the distance. We should be able to spot some cars and stuff. Look at that. That's pretty far away, like a few hundred meters. Take off the UV cut filter. Yeah, you do get more details, but just reduced sharpness. I think that says Hertz, that car rental brand. Pop the filter back on. I'll show you what I mean. See, it sharpens things out, but I guess reduces the overall information, which is, I mean, that's the point of it. It filters out UV and perhaps some other wavelengths as well, I'm not sure. But I guess for a more immersive experience, I'd just leave it off unless it's too bright. Let's look a little bit further in distance. This is at 7 times zoom. Just zoom back out slowly. You can see a ship out in the distance there, sailing in. I do notice after using this thing for a while as well, it is a bit tiring on my shoulders. It's not exactly light. And you can see all the way out across there. This is I guess the bay. Zoom in. Some houses all the way in the distance. You can see these little birds flying around in the distance as well. I'm just amazed at how well these work as some digital binoculars. The details. And I guess it must process that 52 megapixel image and sharpen it up a lot, but you know, for about 5 times digital zoom here, there's so much detail. Very usable. I'm normally not impressed with digital zoom. It's more of a gimmicky kind of thing, but in this circumstance it's actually very, very useful. Over here we have some hills in the distance. So just thought I'd try it out on this side. And this is the UV cut filter off. We'll put the filter back on. So as you can see, it just sharpens things up a little. Let's zoom into these buildings here in the back. I'm on about 6 times digital zoom now. Take the filter off. Yeah, and as you can see, you just get a larger range of colors and details. Don't know what that is. Looks like a race course or something. Yeah. thought I saw something sort of running across. Well, there's something moving. Don't know what it is. That's just trying to hold this as steady as I can at this 5.4 times zoom. But you can see you can even follow birds around. Yeah, it's some kind of race course. I don't go to these places, so I really have no idea what kind of a race course it is. Yeah, this is like a, I don't know, maintenance vehicle or something. Moving across. Yeah, I don't know. Horses, dog racing, I'm not sure. Okay. Let's continue down this street. The dude walking around there. I just wouldn't be able to spot him normally without these binoculars. Too small. Down this street again and back into the city. I'm just seeing if I can really narrow into something, zoom into something. And if you have a tripod, this is gonna be a lot easier. Cars there in the distance. Okay, so here's a little demo of the Cigman CNVPRO, and you can see right in the center there is a possum walking underneath the tree, and you can't even see that with my phone. And I've actually just changed my phone settings so that it looks roughly how I see it, which is basically not being able to see anything at all. And I'll have a little pan around here just to show you the difference. It's really quite amazing. This has really exceeded my expectations. And compared to the CNV01, I mean, this thing is like night and day. It has to be just the combination of that Starvis sensor, plus you of course have a larger aperture. It almost looks like it's daytime here, and it seems like the algorithm just sort of alters the brightness here and there as well. So when you're looking at a pretty dark area, it just bumps the gain of some sort. But yeah, this kind of dark path here is a good little setting that we can walk around and see what's going on. And as you see, when I'm walking around, it's also a little bit tricky to focus. There's a lot of movement. This thing is probably best used on maybe slow walks or just scouting ahead. Jeez, that's incredible. I can't see anything really out here. Let's go for a bit of a walk. There is a little bit more ambient light. Just going to adjust the camera, my phone a little bit to make it more real to life. So I can see the train tracks here a little. But yeah, it really does amplify the light up ahead, as you can see. And I feel fairly comfortable walking around with this thing. And these train tracks are actually not used anymore, so thankfully I'm not risking my life walking around here. I did spot a possum in there a while ago. I don't know where it's gone. Just keep on walking up ahead. It's incredible because this is just using the ambient light here. There's no infrared assist at all. So this area right in the back is pretty much pitch black. Now I did see a couple of people moving around under there. I'm going to zoom in, see if I can maybe spot them. Don't know where they're gone, but there were a couple of people back there. Oh, here we go, there they are. Well, it's one guy, I think. Just focusing. Maybe a couple guys with the dog. And he's got a light. And this is completely invisible, really, to me. I mean, I can't see what is going on out the back there. Seems like he's got a light and pointing at his dog, but to me it just looks like nothing really. It's incredible. So I've got the infrared illuminator on now, just looking across this area of this river, and there's a guy there just fishing. You can see. Let me just zoom in. You can actually see is that the fishing line? There we go, here. And I've got the illuminator on the 4th level. Now I can swap this out, let's more mode. So this is without any active illumination. Still super impressive. I can even see people walking. Holy cow, like you can see people just walking around in the back there, and that's, to me, it's just completely pitch black. People up ahead as well. This is so impressive. I'm genuinely surprised at how well this thing is performing. And that's again the infrared mode. So I believe it removes the infrared filter, and then you can ramp up that infrared illuminator here. It's a lot more obvious up closer, but it's meant to be used for like a more long range kind of thing. These people here, it's interesting, there's something kind of flashing on them. I don't know if it's if they're wearing like a, I don't know, like a running light or something, maybe. Holy cow. Let's switch over and zoom in a bit here, refocus. Wow. Spot a rabbit here on the IR illuminator. This is really close. It's almost too much. You just put it back. And again, to me this just looks like I'm in almost complete darkness. A little bit of ambient light spilling over is amplified. I'm just kind of holding it up to my face now, looking across this building. Seems to almost lower the frame rate a little to allow more light to come in, the shutter speed or something, as you can see here. I am out here in a nature sort of preserve, and as you can see, it's really like night and day. I can't see anything out here. There's a little bit of little bit of ambient light, but most of it's been cut out because I'm just in a sealed off area. So it's really just a bit of light coming from the sky and some starlight and I guess some general light pollution from nearby the city, but looking around it really just doesn't look like much at all. And as you can see with the CNV Pro, you really get a much better visual of what's going on out here. And we can see like all the little plants and trees. The sky almost looks like it's daytime when you point it downwards anyway. You adjust the gain, I suppose, or the aperture, and even when you look at the sky, this is something that's really cool. You can see all the stars. Look at that. Holy cow. That's pretty impressive. And there's some birds here to the right. And let's go and see if I can spot some of them. Move over here. They might be in these kind of reeds. You can hear them, but who knows where they are. Oh. Okay, well, let's just do something. I'm gonna zoom in using the digital zoom here in the back and see how kind of effective it is from a bit of a range, especially with such low light. This is 3.5 times zoom, digital zoom. Zoom back out. Don't know what I'm looking at the moment. That might be a bird in there. Turn over to the left a little bit and see maybe if I can spot some birds here. I don't know where they're hiding, but the path that I was walking on before. And what appears to be a super strong light there in the background is really quite dim normally from this distance. Go for a little walk up here. So that plane or something up in the sky there. Let's see if I can follow it a bit. There we go. So got a light coming out in front of it. Oh, check that out. A few birds I've spotted. A helicopter. Zoom. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit on this. That's about as good as I can get. It's plain. It's amazing how you can see the actual beam, well, in front of the plane, some kind of light. Just make it out. Helicopter back here. Well, it sounds like a helicopter anyway. I hear some noise coming from this area. Let me just have a look and see. don't see anyone, but there was a bit of noise there before. I'm just trying my best to see if I can spot someone walking around, but really I've only seen a few people here and there. Sound coming from up here. Probably people just walking on the bridge up the top. I don't know. As you can see, it's pretty dark down this path, and the 25mm lens is able to get all the way to the back of this path, and you can really see everything that's going on back there. You get a bit of glare from the lights that are actually quite far away. But yeah, let's just focus a bit more on this path, because as you can see, you know, it really looks like anything on my phone, and I've adjusted that so that it roughly looks like how I see it, which is pretty much like pitch black out here. The train running to the left. And I'll just zoom in with the digital zoom all the way. So this is 4 times, 5 times. Now this is too much now, 6 times, but you can still make out those plants, those sort of new plants that they've put in there. And yeah, the image algorithm, as you can see, is working. You can see it working much more when you use the digital zoom. Just zoom back out again. Bit of noise over here. Let me just have a look and see what is happening. Not much really, it's just a car probably going across. Notice when you look at the sky, because it's so bright, it almost just confuses the camera. So if you look down a bit, it adjusts accordingly. And let's have a look down here. It's the city here in the background, and lots of light. Power line. Here you can see the camera again adjusting to that bridge, underneath that bridge. So yeah, look, you can navigate with this thing. It's not going to be comfortable. It's more suitable for kind of stationary stuff like this, scouting ahead from a bit. But of course, if you're moving around like I'm going to be doing here, it works, but yeah, it's just a bit shaky. It's not ideal, and because the field of view is quite narrow, and it's also zoomed in 25mm, it's really difficult to see what's kind of at your feet. So yeah, but I mean, if you have nothing else, this is really, it works. I'm just happy that it works, and pretty well, if you ask me. I mean, I don't know, definitely no like analog, nothing compared to analog devices, but it works. There's something here, some like sign or something here in the bush. What is that? have a quick look at this. Don't know what it is. Oh no, it's not a sign, it's just a plant. And let's have a look at the sky again.